open that. Okay, most jumpers, there's two ways to fold them. You can either fold them from the back side or the front side. You can start from the pool to the back, which is the higher end, or you can fold from the back end to the front. I like doing back end to front, mainly because it gets all the water out of it. You know, when you pick it up, it gets all the water drained just about out of the pool and out of the rest of the jumper. The other way gets harder because you end up with a bigger fold at the end. Right now they're folding, as you can tell over here, they're folding it out over here. That way they get it straight out. Okay, now we're going to open this up. That way we can get it going. As you can tell, this one was folded from the back end to the front. What happens that way is all the water comes through the tunnels out to the front, and as the water comes to the front, there's custom made zippers up here in front, because there's custom made zippers where the water comes out of. All the water will leak right out of the zipper. If you don't have zippers in the front of your water slides, I recommend get them made, because right here is where the water is going to come out of. From the back end, as you fold it back down, it's going to come right out here, so it doesn't get stuck inside your water slide. Okay, now right now this is already laid out, ready to go. In a second, once we get power, we're going to go ahead and bring it up and tie it all down. Now we're laying these jumpers out, the water slides. There's 4 of them going at this particular school party. We're getting them all laid out where they're going to go, so we have an idea. We have to have room for the kids to be able to make lines, form their lines so they can get on them without a problem. So right now I got roughly about 15 to 20 feet spacing. On some of them only 10 feet because they're further out, but that's good. I got good spacing so the kids can come in and out with no problem. As you can see, they're all laid out in the area so we can start getting them up in the air in a second, okay? Pretty soon we're gonna start hooking them up, get the blowers hooked up, get them ready to go. Right now I'm checking all the trap doors on the bottom to make sure they're all sealed. This is a little air vent trap door. Allows the air to get out to deflate it, also allows water to come out of it when you fold it back up. A way to have water leak back out of the water slide so you're not taking it with you. So I'm just making sure they're all closed up, ready to go. Same thing with the zippers. I'm making sure the zippers are all closed up too as I'm going around it. All of my water slides have this, but this one didn't because it's a different manufacturer. But what I did was I took these in and had them redone. They actually have a foam step inside. It uses 1/2-inch PVC pipe with a foam outside, noodle foams. And it's nice and soft so the kids don't hurt their feet. All the other ones up here, they already have that. That's already been incorporated when they were made. But the foam steps don't hurt your feet when you don't have no shoes on. So it's nice and soft as you're going up the ladder so you don't get hurt coming up and down. Also, in case somebody trips and they fall, they're gonna hit the foam instead of hitting the plastic. You know, you fall on your face, you're gonna hurt your face with the plastic. It'll be a hard hit, but with the foam, it's a soft landing. The only thing that'll be hurt is your pride, okay? Right now, I'm hooking up the blower to this side. What I like to do with my blower is I like to put 2 straps on instead of just one. Most jumpers are made with 1, but I like to put 2 straps on it. What I like to do is I make my own little straps. This one here is the original strap from the manufacturer. I'll make a short strap about 2 feet long, and then what I do is I put it in front of the other one for more support. That way, in case one gets loose, the second one will hold it down in place. Now, when I put these on, I have one locking down on the one side of the blower, and then the other one locks on the other side. That way they counteract each other, so there's no way it's gonna get loose. This works great with no problem. You don't have no problem with them getting loose on you. People calling you later telling you, well, hey, the jumper went down, it's kind of soft, and you find out all it is a strap. Okay, this will work. I've never had a problem with it. I've been using this for 4 years like this. No problem. It locks them in place. They stay right where you put them. I'm gonna get a second strap. Okay, now as you can tell, we got this set up with 2 straps locked down, so it's ready to go. It's not going nowhere. Now we're gonna turn the motors on to let it go up. Let's get the generator. Get the other one first. We'll get the generator going in a minute. That'll blow it all up. Now, once in a while, you might have to get a generator like this to use at some of your events. Sometimes you have to have one of these, otherwise you're dead in the water. Because sometimes you have locations like this where you don't have that much power. Right now we have one building over here with power, everything else is kind of far away. So we're going to be using a generator to power 3 of the blowers out of the 5. Okay, there's the one, this particular one uses 2 blowers. That's why we have 5 blowers going on. But this will generate the rest of it. Right now the jumper's going up little by little. It's slowly going up. And once it gets up there, then we're going to tie it down all the way around, plus the anchors from the top down. That way it'll hold it in place. It gets windy, too many kids on the steps, it's not going to hurt it. It's going to stay up there. It's not going to want to tip over on you. Okay, so just give it a few minutes and we'll be ready back again. Right here, these are straps to hold this jumper, this water slide down, so it doesn't do this. Without this, that's what it's going to do at your party. It'll just sway around with more weight on the steps. And then eventually, it'll want to flip over. But to prevent that, we use these here, nothing more than 15-foot long straps with tie downs, okay? All we're doing is basically tying it down to the ground so it doesn't go anywhere, and we do it on both sides. This particular one, being that's an 18.5-foot tall water slide, it requires 4. It has 2 on each side to hook it down. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to start hooking it down now on this one, and you want to hook it at a little bit of an angle. You don't go straight. Okay, there's one. That's one tie down. Okay, here goes the second tie down. You notice I'm a little bit of an angle. I'm not going straight with the water slide. I'm actually angling it. By angling it, it actually helps it be more supportive. It gives you better angles for it to hold in place. These particular straps you can find at any hardware store. Home Depot, Lowe's, Harbor Freight, they all sell them. They sell them usually in a pack of 1 or pack of 4. And it's very inexpensive insurance to not have a water slide flip over on you. Now right now, I'm just basically tightening it just a little bit for now. Once I get all 4 straps up, then I do my final tightening, 1 full loop around it. And when I do my final tightening, I always make sure I tighten the side with the slide more than the side with the steps. Because obviously you're going to have more kids coming up and down the steps than you will on the slide side. So it's going to want to lean toward that side, so you want to have the other side tighter. Right now I got 4 anchors on this water slide, so it can't sway left to right. Wind blows, it's not going nowhere. If you have a situation where too many kids get on the steps, it's still not going to go. This side right here, on this particular water slide, the steps are on the other side of it. So this here, I'm going to tighten it more than I am the other side to keep it from swaying that way. See, the last thing I want it to do is to sway over with all that weight and flip over. You're going to get a good 5 to 10 kids on your steps. Especially at house parties, you can't control it sometimes. You know, you're not there to control it all day. But this is good insurance for you so that you know that it's going to hold and not worry about it. If you leave it without them, you're asking for trouble. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tighten these down. What I'm doing here is up on top, I'm making sure it pinches a little bit. So I know it's holding it right in place, just like that. That way it's tight enough. See, that side is good right there. Now I'm going to go on the other side and retighten that one a little bit. And see, now it's nice and tight. It moves very little. It's not going to flip over, it's not going to tilt, it's not going to tip. It's going to stay right where you set it. Now next thing we're going to do, we're going to also put nails on the floor on the hooks that are down here. We're going to put some nails down here. Now what I like to do with these nails is I'll use 2 nails. Okay? I put 1 nail at an angle with the water slide, and then I'll do a second nail behind that one, basically at a 45-degree angle. This way, what happens is if the first nail tries to come out, this second nail will hold it right there in place. Now you notice when I have these regular nails like this, I'll use a washer with it too. That way it stays inside the D-ring. Okay, so what I would do here is start hammering the first nail, which is at an angle, 45 angle of the water slide. Get it about halfway down. Then your second nail, put it right behind it. This locks it in place. And then just start hammering one by one, little by little down, once you get them in. By doing this, you have less of a chance of wind wanting to blow your slide away from you. You know, you're not going to have a problem with the wind blowing it or any kind of mishaps happening. You know, wind is the biggest monster out here on water slides and regular jumpers. You know, some people will use one nail and that's it, and that nail will come off very easy. But when you put the second nail to tie it down, it holds it in place so that first one cannot come out. It works a lot better, a lot stronger. Okay, when I bring these down, I like to pull them backwards a little bit. So when I fold it, it actually makes it longer. It actually folds better when it's longer instead of trying to put all this inside. This way it doesn't fold the step. Otherwise you're gonna get the step to get all crinkled up and it's not gonna fold as easy. I keep the step as straight as possible. So as you can see, I got this folded out. My next step from here is get some of the air out of it, then I'm gonna fold it in. First I fold the step side in. On the ground, the step side is in between the first and second line. You got one line at the end, then your next line. So or between second and third line is where your step. I fold just over to get that flat, straight line on the step. You're gonna go 2.5 lines in. Right there, good. Right here on this line is where the step is at. Here's your first line, second line, that's where your step is always at. You want to try to keep the step as flat as possible when you're doing this fold process. That way you're not crinkling the step up both ways. Here you just need one line. You still keep yourself about 4 to 5 feet on length, which is about what you want, 4 to 5 feet. You don't want a 3-footer, you don't want a 6 or 7-footer. And the zipper in the front's open, so it lets all the air out, travel that way. Also, any water that's inside the slide is going to travel out that way too, in the process. See right here, here's where the slide actually ends. This little 3-foot extra, that's part of the top that I just push out. So I don't have a big bulge over here that makes it harder to fold. It just holds a lot nicer this way. Okay, that's all it takes to fold it. All we do now is just put the straps on it and we're done with this one. And then later on, just take it home and clean it. Blow it all back up and just clean it at home. That's all it takes. Now over here is where the water came out. Any water left inside the pool drains out right through here, right where the zipper is. It's still coming out. Okay, now the last step to lock it in place, I just grab these two, pull them over to the top. Pull it back and do a slip knot underneath. And then latch him right under. He's out of the way. He's not going to trip over you. Done. And that's how you fold a water slide. This is my way of folding it, which to me works better. Now we're just going to stand it up and we're done. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Oh yeah. Right there. Any water will flow out of the seams at this point. Any water, major water still left in there, just flow out. And that's it, done. My name is Albert with Just for Kids Jumpers. I do my own jumper business out here. Thank you for watching our video of this demonstration on how to open up a water slide and how to refold it again. I find this to be a better way to work instead of having to try to find other ways. I tried this many times. This is the way I found it works best. Thank you again for watching our video. Have a good day.